Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and today we're going to talk about correcting midlines in kiddos in phase 1 treatment. That's your 6 through 9 treatment. Early mixed dentition, is it possible? Should you be doing it? And this is my opinion, my position on that, and that answer is it depends. So it depends on what the etiology of the midline shift deviation is. Is it an upper midline off? Is it a lower midline off? Are you not sure? Is it a CRCO shift? So there are many different reasons midlines are off. It could be like early loss of a baby tooth and things shifted. Most commonly, it's like tooth somewhere around here or here was pulled early or was lost early due to trauma, and this upper midline shifted. In that situation, yeah, you could probably fix it in phase 1. If it's a skeletal midline deviation, no, that's not going to get fixed, and it's probably never going to get fixed. Maybe we can improve it in phase 2, but can't do anything in phase 1. If it's a lower midline, first thing I do is check to see if there's a unilateral or a bilateral crossbite. I look for any deviations, asymmetries in the face. It might be a CRCO shift. I have a ton of videos on that. You can go into my YouTube channel, Straightsmile Solutions, search by keyword at the top right, magnifying glass, put in shift, and watch the videos on how to check for CRCO shift and how to eliminate them. Obviously, you want to eliminate the interference, which might be pulling a few baby teeth and or guide the lower jaw into place. I have exercises on how to do that, and retake your records. There might be no shift. It might just be a deviation. Definitely, we want to get rid of that. So, and again, since we talked about interferences, could just be an interference, a slide, like a baby tooth, a tall filling. Try to get rid of that interference so we can see if the shift is skeletal or dental in nature. If it's just a dental midline shift, most likely it's going to be corrected in phase 2 and not in phase 1. So make sure you know the etiology of your midline issue before you tell the parents that it's something you can fix. You want to make sure whatever you're doing phase 1 treatment, if there's something you can't do and you need to do in phase 2, that you bring it up on the front end, not during treatment, not at the end of treatment, and let the parents know, put it in writing, and they need to sign for it. Anything that phase 1, remember, the definition of phase 1 is A, fixing the bite, transverse, vertical, sagittal, all different directions, fixing the bite, growing a jaw, making the jaws match up in all different directions. At the end of phase 1, your bite should have perfect vertical, like this, well, it's a little open, perfect vertical, perfect transverse, enough space for all the future teeth to come in, perfect AP, meaning that if you had a small upper jaw, it needs to be moved forward. If you have a small lower jaw, it needs to be moved forward. We want to move things forward and not backwards, okay? So transverse, vertical, and AP. AP is also sagittal, as well as enough space in the arches for the permanent teeth to drop down, hopefully as straight as humanly possible. Sometimes they don't come in straight, but we want to at least create the eruption lane so they can come in straight if they decide they want to. Otherwise, no worries. There's additional back teeth, your 3s, 4s, and 5s on all 4 quadrants. We could straighten those in phase 2. Not a problem. Can't promise those are going to come in straight. But we are also going to make sure that we close up any spaces in the front teeth that we've created with any type of arch expansion so that we've given the best opportunity for those canines to drop down and the least opportunity for canines to be impacted. Can't promise they won't be impacted. Can't fight genetics. So that is what phase 1 is. If you can't do all of that and get the midlines on, you need to let the parents know what parts of the phase 1 you can't do up front. Like I said, document it, have them sign on the front end before you start treatment. Just so when you don't do it at the end, they can't complain to their insurance or the dental board that you didn't finish phase 1 properly, because then you're going to be giving a refund or worse. So that's why you need to understand phase 1 before you get into it. All right, hopefully that's helpful. Thanks.